Hey now, hey now.
All right, let's get started.
Ooh, special guest today.
Oh, yeah, you heard Drew and you heard Josh. There might be more special guests, too. You never know who's going to join.
There may or may not be someone sitting in the corner in a chair watching.
You never know. But, yeah, we decided to do an impromptu podcast, or maybe we have been planning it for longer than that. But we're going to talk a little bit about the future of the league and the direction that really Eric Starter wants to take this thing. So
He's the chief architect.
one man's vision will become the rest of ours league.
Yep,
Did everyone take the survey? Did you take the survey, Josh?
I did. I took the survey.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's look over some of the answers, I guess, is the best way to start the thing, because we definitely had some, what would you call it, turmoil in the league?
Tumult.
Tumult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
think it's a good
definitely,
word.
we almost,
Controversy.
Ben almost broke the league. So I guess we're looking at the direction we want to go. Maybe the direction Eric Starter wants to go and his vision for the league. So let's move on and talk a little bit more about the league setup. In the survey, you guys can't see this, unfortunately, but
He's talking about us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
just
talking
thinking,
about Drew and Josh are over here. Yeah, they cannot see my computer really, but
We're flying blind here.
in the responses,
That's just porn, Dylan.
it was really just a mishmash of everybody saying, "Hey, I'm going to vote for this and this and this," but 3 would be on divisions for some reason, and then nobody really explained why.
I
They
picked.
wanted to get rid of divisions?
No, so I think Mike proposed that we keep the same divisions to
Yes.
breed rivalries.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like it in terms of just like an equal distribution of your chance to win every year, right? Like I like that it was random, but I would be open to like say like every 3 years we change divisions or something, you know, like so that you could get into like a little.
Or what if you just kept your extra game opponent for the 3 years? So, like, you know, you played one person an extra time from the other division. Maybe you would just keep it like that.
Well, that's another. I know we did the against the median this year. You can also do like set up weeks where like there's some weeks where you play 2 opponents so that you play everyone the same amount of time, and so then it really wouldn't matter who's in your division. So you could keep the same division.
So you'd really have to sit down with the schedule and like manually set it, maybe.
I'm not sure. I think I know on MFL it's an automated thing that you just pick that you play every team the same. Like, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. So I don't know if it's an option or not, but just something else to think about.
Yeah, the responses do say, let's say, this one first response, X the keeper value and trading draft picks interchangeably. Maybe keeper trades could be offset if everyone had assets of picks to trade.
So he's saying that if you're able to trade draft picks, you can balance out trades more easily by throwing in a draft.
That's saying like only Ben had JSN this year to really trade, and like nobody else had that keeper chip. But if people had draft picks, then maybe everybody would have that asset of a little bit of
Being able to-
money to, or you know, just something to throw into their player trades.
I would say if you're upset at trades that are being made because you deem them to be unfair or something you would veto or something, you don't want more assets to trade. It'll only get more.
Right.
It'll only get more confusing.
Oh,
which I think is fine. I think it all evens
you would
out.
trade you could trade anyone for a third round. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you
Well,
just-
and we
why
don't know.
wouldn't you?
We don't know what the value is because every league is different, and like we almost have to like set the value. I'm of the opinion we're all grown ups. We all pay our money. No one's colluding with anyone. We all know about football as much as we choose to at this point in our lives. I would trade whatever. We can trade it all. I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, I think when I envisioned this, I thought like more people would have keepers to trade, you know.
Right.
But it definitely doesn't work out that way. It's
Right.
usually just 1 or 2 teams that has like a valuable keeper.
Right. And that's part of the thing about like trading and stuff, and like what a perceived value is versus what the value ends up being. You don't know. Like maybe JSN breaks his leg next year, or isn't what we saw this past year, and it wasn't a good thing. And maybe one of the guys I traded away ends up being maybe Drake May's Josh Allen or something. Like I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, look at Johnny J. Like he sucked this year,
right?
And for the foreseeable future, if they don't get a new quarterback,
I feel like in terms of like not having value stored in keeper status, I think like in my opinion, we should just do something like you get to keep 2 players any round you want. The round doesn't have anything to do with it. You just can't keep a player more than like 3 years or 4 years or whatever, and that way, no one has some increase in value above like with potential. Like
So just sort of like a blanket, you can keep any 2 players type thing. Yeah, it doesn't matter what round.
Yeah, and then there's no value tied into like it's just how good is that player. It has nothing to do with where you pick them or whatever.
Yeah, I think that would line up with Eric Starter's vision nicely.
I would.
He's
I don't
nodding his
mind
head.
that, but I would like it if
Licking his lips too.
maybe we still have
Licking his lips.
we don't have draft values, but maybe you just don't have the first 2 rounds available, so those players are already there. But like if you you can keep anyone after the 3rd, but it would just be the same value.
Yeah, I'm fine with
I
that.
like that because if you get the first pick in that first draft, you're going to have one of the best players for the next 3 years on your team.
Yeah. It's not like when we initially made that rule that was like LT and Priest Holmes and all these guys that were like league winners if you had them on your team. And so I think that's why we protected the 1st and 2nd round. And I feel like it changed. Like one year it's like, all the running backs need to get picked first, and then the next year it's like all the receivers need to get. Like it kind of changes over. But I'm fine with that. I think getting rid of the round like value attachment would go a long way towards having other people appreciate what's going down.
Yeah, I would agree that that's where something needs addressed, and those are great ideas. Yeah. Just reading some of the other responses is somebody says we aren't ready for trading draft picks. We cry about trading for keepers.
That wasn't me, by the way, although that was basically what I just said.
Was that me? It might have been me that said that.
Might have been you, yeah.
I was thinking it. I don't know if I typed it out or not, though.
Another person says, I was paid out individually by a few people, but I'm still owed money. I don't know who's in charge of collecting or sending. Riff didn't get paid until like June when he won. So that's not identified. That's either Tim or my brother, though.
I think it's your brother.
Yeah. So we'll have to get with him about getting paid. Pay your dues, people.
I haven't been paying at the draft the last few years, but I always send my money out like ASAP after the championship.
And then the other response, the final response here is I like penny picking, but I think we should explore trading draft picks. Oh, and then this final response is free game day ads. Any comments on those, Josh? What do you think about?
Ooh. I don't know if I like those free game day ads. The only reason why I don't like that is like someone can get injured or find something out and someone picks up a player. I kind of like that. If you are going to do that, you have to at least spend $10 for it.
Right.
And it keeps that from happening more frequently, right? But yeah.
Drew, any thoughts on $10 ads?
What about $10 ads on days other than Sunday? So
we do.
Saturday,
It's sort of game day. It's Thursday and Monday, and when there's Saturday
$10
games,
ads,
it's $10 to those days as
We
well.
already do
I
that.
thought we decided that was a no.
It was at one point, and then it turned into a yes. I don't know.
Okay. No, yeah. All right.
I like the 10. I like it being prohibitive to add a player. I feel like if we want to address that, we should address it through deeper rosters or more IR spots, versus like I like the fact, like Josh said, you don't get a first come first serve guy just because you were the first one to hear some kind of news on Sunday morning. I agree with that. Yeah. And if you are the first one, then you got to spend 10. Like, is it worth $10? That's 5% of your budget. Is it worth it?
Exactly, because there's sometimes it might not be so clear, but if it's for free, you might do that, and you could be the benefactor the next 3 weeks because of not going through the waiver wire. I like when it goes through the waiver wire.
And if we had more IR spots or like less strict, like if you could put a questionable player in IR, or or we had an extra bench spot or two, you'd be more prepared for those things where it's like you feel like you're being screwed. I'm the one that has to spend $10 because my guy was hurt Sunday morning or whatever.
No, I like that. Yeah, that aligns with Eric's vision, I'm sure, nicely.
There was something else you brought. What was the first of those points?
The penny picking. It was.
They said to trade
said
draft picks. Are they talking about trading a draft spot?
They
so
like,
you trade all your third.
That's
round
what I'm
pick,
wondering.
all your
Yeah,
number
they
3
like
picks
penny
for all their
picking,
number,
but
they
should explore trading draft picks. So
are they talking about like a draft spot? Like I don't want pick 3, but I do want pick 7, and you swap. Or are they talking about trading the third round pick for your 6th
Maybe
round?
they're assuming that if you were last, you get the first pick.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't fall that. There would be no need to pick pennies.
Yeah.
it's more just like dynasty.
But
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about the draft pick trading.
I'm fine with it either way. I feel like I don't like being the first pick isn't always an advantage, so I don't think it should be tied to last year's standings. Like that's another thing I think should continue to be randomized because like there's some years the first pick isn't. Like
Yeah, if you were to do that, then whoever finishes last should get the pick when
yes,
they want to
yes,
draft.
yeah.
And then you could go that way. But the penny picking, that's the reason why I'm in this league.
Yeah, I'm pretty into pennies.
I concur.
Especially now that they don't exist anymore, right? Like it's a relic.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're worth 1.3 cents.
Yeah, all those scrappers that have drywall buckets and drywall buckets full of fucking pennies, they're gonna cash in someday.
Let's talk about roster settings. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think this.
I know
this
you want to talk about roster
this gets into like everything, like the trading. Like if we loosen that up some, I feel like when we initially started it, we had a few people in the league who exploited certain loopholes that we weren't aware of because it was a new thing we were doing. So we put all these fucking training wheels on it to make sure that like no one can get out of bounds, whatever. I feel like sorry, we're watching them play. I feel like we're at the point now where like we all know how to play, we all trust each other, we know what's and we can make specific rules if there is something that's shady or whatever, but I don't think we need those kind of protections anymore. I think everyone can be free to have 8 running backs and 4 receivers or 3 running backs and 8 receivers, whatever, and that will also help when you have some kind of player injured. You can go get another receiver this week, because that's the position that you're low at, and then flip it for a running back. And that, like I just I feel like that would address a lot of the issues we're having.
And that would help with the trading too.
Right.
I mean, right?
Yeah, because then you don't have to do a wide receiver and a running back for a wide receiver and a running back.
Yeah, looking at the responses, overwhelmingly, almost everyone that responded said that we need to remove positional roster limits.
All right.
So that's definitely a top priority. And 4 of the responders said that we need to remove both kickers and defenses.
Yeah, I'm into that too.
You mean having to have 2 or just all together?
All together.
Just remove them all together.
Yeah. Well, everyone's on board with only having to have one.
That's
right.
ridiculous.
And to be honestly, if everyone isn't holding all these defenses and kickers, maybe I'm not so concerned about keeping defenses and kickers because I can go get whoever off the waiver wire because most people are just going to keep one. Like right now, you're kind of like locked. Like if you have 2 shitty ones, you're pretty much locked in. Like,
you hope to look for a streamer against Cleveland or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that one. I mean, I like having kickers and defenses, but I was really surprised to see 4 members want to get rid of that. That's kind of crazy to me, but maybe that's something that we need to explore.
I don't know if this is time to bring up Superflex or not while we're talking about rosters.
It is, yeah.
Hand in hand. I think if we get rid of those 2 things, we would want to add.
There was only one person that clicked on Superflex that they're interested in.
Probably me.
Yeah.
But so my reason for that is that then quarterbacks do have trade value, and I feel like I don't know, just all the leagues I'm in are it's like every league but this one is Superflex, and I just feel like it's a much more representative value. Like in like trades or like I said, quarterbacks are actually worth something. The 33rd quarterback is like a pretty valuable player, right? That's like a 3rd string running back or something.
I'm definitely open to Superflex, and I think I was even a little more like really interested in it earlier this year, but I don't know. Just started thinking about the draft and how it just would really change the way you draft guys and the way we have our keepers set up that they have a compensation of a draft pick and stuff like that too. It would really change everything. Yeah.
I don't disagree with that being super flex and like being able to hit on a late round QB would be a big swing in value for the rest of the league. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it helps with trading and evening out things. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree.
But I'm fine either way.
Let me just read some of the responses. Some of the responses were this person ranked them bench spots. You're expanding bench spots, I guess. Then removing positional limits. I didn't click super flex, but that'd be a distant 3. And then a deeper bench would mean we'd have to expand positional limits or remove them. So that's why I ranked that first.
Okay.
That was my response.
Right.
Then another suggestion was best ball, and this was the most bold suggestion I think in the entire thing, was that somebody suggested that we go best ball. That's insane, but
That was probably me.
I don't mind it. I don't know. It doesn't show me who says anything, but.
I think if we could ever get on board with doing a dynasty best ball, like in tandem with this league, like at the draft for this, then we have the rookie draft right after for the dynasty, and because it would be a best ball, it would be like a set it and forget it.
That would be ideal.
And it would just be like in the off season you can fuck around and trade and stuff, but it would just be this thing that kind of ran itself during the season. I don't know. I think that would be really fun, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure we could get everyone on board with that.
Yeah, definitely. The other ones I have here is if we do remove positional requirements, I can read just so you know, I just can't see. Right? Bench spots might need to be looked at.
So do they say an increase or decrease?
If we do remove positional requirements, bench spots might need looked at. So I think that's like the opposite of what I was saying. I think I was saying bench spots, if we open up bench spots, then we'll have to look at positional requirements, and they're saying if we look at positional requirements, we'll have to look at bench spots, basically. So,
but are they saying we should have more or less?
I think
less, which I disagree with. I think we're fine. We have the same amount. Would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
It just lets you go 6 running backs maybe one week, and then you can have 7 receivers the next.
Right. And I think someone, it might have been your brother's point, was that like, oh, there won't be anybody on the waiver wire. But if there's easier ways to make trades, like you can you're not locked into like, oh, these are my only 5 receivers, I can't trade one of them. Someone will trade you their 8th receiver for that week for your backup, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be easier to get a 1-week deal kind of done. Yeah.
And then our final response is that we draft 2 to 3 defensive players.
No.
It just seems like a whole other can of worms, and maybe this is why like everyone else doesn't want to super flex, because they're a little bit afraid of it because they don't know about it, and that's sort of how I feel about IDP. But I'd do IDP over a defense and kicker, to be honest. But I don't care. Like it's not, none of it's very consequential to me.
No, I appreciate the bold suggestions. That's nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss for our roster settings?
I don't believe so.
No.
Oh, no, that's scoring.
So yeah, we discussed positional requirements. We discussed removing kickers and defenses. We discussed the possibility of a super flex. There were people that clicked on to add more IR spots and to add more bench spots, which we kind of talked about hand in hand. And then, the other suggestions of IDP, best ball, and whatnot. So.
And we did mention earlier about loosening the restrictions on the IR spot. So, like, maybe if you can put a questionable player there.
Yeah, I think the way it's set up that we can put out
and IR
and stuff like that.
But a lot of times they play games with that out.
But that's just up to the teams.
It'll be a player that was out last week, and until the next injury report comes out, they divert back to questionable.
I had big problems with that in the beginning of the year,
huge,
and that was a pain in the ass.
That's why I had to cut Travion Henderson.
That was like my big, we need to figure out how to fix this, but
right.
I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I don't think there is a way to fix it.
I think
the
it's
NFL teams
to make the IR questionable, and I guess
we have that. That's what I mean.
No, we don't. It's just out. It's only out.
No, this year was questionable. Like
I couldn't put anybody questionable on IR. You can once they if you have them you put them in your IR spot at out, and then at the beginning of the week they revert back to questionable. They can still be in your IR spot, but the thing's telling you, hey, you got to move this guy out. He's questionable.
But I don't even think that he reverts to questionable. He reverts to like healthy or something like that.
No, it's questionable.
Is it questionable?
I did a lot this year. Okay. This happened to me a lot.
Well, if there's an option for questionable, we'll definitely click on that, so you could like keep the guy in there. But
and like if someone's worried about some kind of exploitation of questionable tag, we could always do the thing where like once you put them in that spot, they're out for the week. You can't bring them back to play that week.
I like that anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So the real problem there was if you have somebody on IR, 2 people on IR, and it's someone that's really on it, but they're they revert back to questionable. You can't make a roster move.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you can't even
until
move.
you pull someone from the IR.
You can't even
spot.
move
So
guys on your bench to your roster.
That's
like
the-
not
that's
even a
the real
roster.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. But there's nothing that Sleeper allows you to do with that unless the NFL guys start just designating people as out all week or something like that.
I'm pretty sure if we changed it to allow questionable, that would fix that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I might be overlooking something.
No, yeah, that was like the number one thing this year that was I think stuck out for me as being an issue. We ready to talk about scoring settings?
I think we are.
Yep.
All right. Please check mark any scoring settings that you would like to see changed or implemented. Listed are some options picked out from Sleeper. We didn't really have any suggestions from the chat. These are just things that Sleeper offers. And the most populars were first down bonus, points per reception based on position, commonly used to add bonuses for touchdown or for tight end or running backs, and then fourth down stop for defensive scoring points. Those were the two. You know what? They only both had 2 responses each, so nothing was really overwhelmingly voted on here.
I really like the ideally I like 0.5 PPR and 0.5 first down, but I would be open to getting rid of our 0.3 PPR and just having 0.5 first down. So like it's like that's like an actual benefit. Like I know a lot of people hate the PPR because you catch a pass for 0 yards and you get points, but like when you're getting a first down, that actually is like something that's pretty useful.
I'd be willing to replace the PPR with a first down thing. I think it's 0.2.
It is 0.2.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's even lower.
Yeah.
That's when people ask any PPR. I'm like, not really.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Not enough to matter. Regular
I
PPR
use
barely
the-
matters for some players, and this is like doesn't matter at all.
If I'm looking at if you're looking for fantasy projections, I look at the standard scoring.
Yeah,
I don't
me
look
too.
at the PPR
Me
because
too,
we're
yeah.
0.2.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Yeah, that was really the only scoring stuff that went on. We have suggestions for the first down, like you said, and the PPR, and then
In the defense, I do like that turnover.
Oh,
where
yeah.
if they turn over
Yeah,
the
3 and
offense-
out. You said 3 and out, or
there's a 3 and out option, but there's also a fourth down stop
yeah,
option.
I like both. I like both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
And if we were talking about tweaking the defensive scoring, where we're bringing it back some closer to 0, that might be nice to then add these other things where you can accumulate points for like actual big plays and not just like
Yeah, I don't like the forced fumble.
being a two separate things.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't recover it, and because sometimes they just drop the ball, and it's
and
like
you get a force one. Yeah, that's true.
but it ends up being 3 points if the defense forces a fumble, recovers it, it's 3. If you sack a quarterback, he fumbled, and now you're getting 4 points on that one play.
Yeah.
2 sack fumbles, that's 8 points, right? I mean, that's just a lot.
I think originally it was 1 point for the forced fumble and then another point if you recovered it. So if it's 2, that's already adding an extra point from what we originally had.
Yeah. We got the kicker thing fixed for this year. That was nice.
Yeah, the kicker and defenses were all changed from last year to this year. I think that went a lot nicer. I don't know. I didn't get any. Nobody complained about it this year, at least.
Yeah.
So
I did vote for eliminating both kicker and defense, but if I had to pick one, I'd keep kickers, honestly, over defense. But I whatever. I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, the only thing about the defense is it does level it out, right? Because it's a complete crapshoot. So if someone's projected to beat you by 20,
but the thing
you could beat them just off a swing on the defenses. But some people would argue hey, then that's the better team's not always winning. It's whoever gets lucky on with the defense, right? You get.
But if we eliminate the roster restrictions, there'll be a lot more defense available for you to maybe think you have a hunch on something. So maybe
I certainly won't keep 2 all year.
No,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you'll have a better chance to get someone who actually, I like this team's matchup this week. Or right now, what's their 12 teams on free agents or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing with roster restrictions as well. And maybe not having super flex is there's going to be a ton of quarterbacks out there. So it's almost like, do quarterbacks matter now?
They'll matter even less.
If we don't have super flex, like it's just going to be like, So we'll have some more discussions to go through, and hopefully,
like, having played Superflex a lot, I was sort of resistant to it at first too, because you're like, oh, someone's going to have Mahomes and Josh Allen, and maybe they do, but usually they pay a price at their other positions.
Right.
But ultimately, like, you'd be surprised how many championship teams were, you know what I mean? Who was at the end of the year? Brissett and Trevor Lawrence came on, but he's pretty good. But, you know what I mean? You can have two like middling veterans and win a championship, no problem, and Superflex.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of super flex or leagues without, other than this one, to be honest with you. So I was definitely hesitant to do anything with our roster restrictions in the past, but I think we can handle it a 10-team league.
Yeah.
And at least explore. We can always do something and then next year do something different. Yeah, right. If like if the free agents are too thin or something like that, we can take a bench spot back or something.
And if people like to come on board need like a set thing, like it's a 3-year experiment or a 2-year experiment or even just a 1-year, whatever, like if that'll help you feel more comfortable about making a change, I'm open to that too.
Yeah, we can automatically vote on it again at the end of the year, and whatever we figure out the metric is, if 8 people like it or whatever, or 6 people, whatever we want to decide.
Yep.
I'm sure Eric will adjust his vision. All right, guys, you got anything else to add?
I want to share a funny story.
Oh, hold on. I have one more football thing before Josh's funny story. I brought it up to Josh, and it's about the playoffs, how the playoffs go down. And so essentially the same 6 teams make the playoffs, 2 people get the bye. And then the first round of the playoffs, those 4 teams play, 2 of them advance. So then you have the 2 teams that had the bye and the 2 teams that advance. And I think they call it like a rumble or something. But basically, it's the next 2 weeks combined scoring. And whoever scores the most, like you set your lineup and stuff, right? It's not best ball. And whoever has the most points is first. Whoever has the second most points is second. And so that like helps the better team be the one who ends up winning because it's over a 2-week sample size. And it also lets all 4 teams be in it, which might ultimately be more fun. I don't know.
No, I love that.
I like it a lot.
I'd be a nervous wreck in that format, but I mean.
If you had a good team, you wouldn't. You'd be like, sweet.
You'd give you a lot more. You feel like you're getting killed because you'd be watching 3 teams against your 1 team. But I think it could be cool.
I think that's what they do in a lot of 12-team leagues, actually. Because they have shorter playoff time. And then they have like I don't know what they do, but they make it so like the last week's with 4 teams.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't played in a 12-team. Oh, I guess I am, but it's that has like you play multiple teams a week and stuff. So I don't know how the schedule got affected by the extra game.
Yeah.
But that was it. Okay, Josh.
I was just gonna say, Drew called me last week or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I was looking at when you were in the championship. I looked at your team. I'm like, how the fuck do you get in the championship with this team or whatever?" And I was like, I knew it. I literally, when I was getting ready to go to the championship game, I was like, I know everyone's looking at my team right now, like, how in the fuck's he even in the championship? And then he called and confirmed it, just happened to tell me that. Yeah, I saw. I was like, how the hell is this team in the finals?
Those are the teams that make the finals. Though you're like, how's this squad good in there?
Trey McBride is the answer.
Oh yeah, he's the only tight end that mattered this year.
Yeah. But and I always thought. Like I would never take Kelsey, right? Like even in his best years, like spending a 1st-round pick or early second on Kelsey. Maybe that's changed me a little bit now because Trey McBride would have finished as the number 5 wide receiver overall for the year.
I actually thought he led the league in receptions until I heard that I think Puka did or something like that.
Yeah, he broke the record for
tight ends. Yeah,
most receptions in a season, but he was consistent and. I was just wanted to share this stuff. That was fun.
Whew, 2 beers and a water. I'm running pure.
All right, I think that does it for the show.
All right, man.
All right.
You guys got a lot to think about and not respond to, so get to work. Be good to your neighbors.
These nuts.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. I got one real quick pop in here. We did get one more survey. Judging by the answers, I believe it's from Mike. He seems to be right in line with the 3 and out and the 4th down stops for defensive scoring.
He wants to remove positional requirements, and he's made his voice heard throughout the year. And I think we're in line, Mike. So we're gonna make this everything try and run a little better this year. Just to go over it real quick, we're probably gonna keep 2 players, any round you want, or any 2 players after the top few rounds, maybe. That'll have to decide. We're gonna remove all keeper value. Doesn't matter what round you keep them in. That's over with. We're going to remove positional roster limits. And that's really where I think that'll open up the league a lot. And then obviously I want everyone's input on everything. These aren't my decisions. This is a league decision, but super flex, I'm leaning towards it. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Bench spots, I guess that'll depend on if we have super flex or not, but where do we land on bench spots and how deep the free agent pool is? Josh mentioned in the podcast or the recording, whatever you want to call it, he thinks, just keep things as they are and just remove the positional requirements. I haven't done the math, but if anyone has input, please speak up. IR spots should be out and questionable. Drew made up some good points about the draft slot being randomized with pennies, and that sort of also randomizing divisions, and it randomizes just everything. So everyone always has sort of an equal thing, although I would love to keep divisions and breed rivalries. I don't know. IDP was brought up. Trading draft picks was brought up. Even though we weren't enthusiastic about it, doesn't mean you can't be. 4th down stops, 3 and outs we brought up. Big oversight on my part with what Josh brought up about a forced fumble and then fumble recovery and sack being 4 points. That's fucked up. 0.5 first down. Drew and Josh were both in agreement on that. I'm with them. I like it too. And then playoffs with a rumble with 4 teams over 2 weeks. That sounds fun. I would do that. I would do it. Would you? What we didn't bring up was when somebody forgets to set their lineup, we should have a penalty for that of sorts. We need to come up with something like that. Maybe even a 0 in your roster, even for a guy you do start. That could be fun too. And then the very last thing in the survey was what week in August there's going to be a destination draft. Probably the 22nd and 23rd is where we're getting the most responses, but that last week as well is popular as well. So we'll figure that out and get back to you. Thanks for listening. I don't know what else to say. Peace. Praise Allah.